Neil Robertson is currently competing against Barry Hawkins, 42, in the final of the Masters in London. The Australian has opened up in the past about the really tough time he's had with snooker, as he has also been busy supporting his wife during her mental health struggles. In 2017, Neil admitted that his career in professional sports had been tricky to balance with issues at home, as his wife was battling anxiety and depression for several years. Remembering the last few years with Andy Goldstein on Eurosport's vodcast in 2020, the snooker player revealed just how tough life had been at times for the couple. The issues they experienced reportedly saw him drop down to 20 in the world rankings and miss the Masters for the first time in 10 years. Speaking to Andy, he said, "What Tyson Fury did a year or so ago when he did that documentary where he discussed his issues with mental health, his anxiety and depression. Watching that, I felt as though I was watching Mill talk. He was talking about the exact same thing more or less," Neil explained. She wasn't substance abusing with drugs, but with anxiety one of the big things people do is drink alcohol to try and settle it down, and that is what Mill was doing, which was very tough for me to try and juggle that and try and be one of the best snooker players in the world. For a few years, I was doing that without really talking about it. I had a few mixed results on the table and people not really knowing why. Obviously, it wasn't myself going through those issues, but when you are trying to help someone through them, it's probably, in some ways, it can probably be worse because you feel completely helpless in that situation." The snooker star went on to admit that it took him about 2 or 3 years to understand what Mill was going through and how best to treat it. When it came to her anxiety, he shared that they had endured some really tough times, explaining that there were periods of time where he could only practice for 45 minutes a day before he would need to tend to his wife. Eventually, the family reached a turning point when Mill entered a rehabilitation program, which he described as absolutely amazing. He spoke about Mill's rehab experience, discussing the methods she learned to deal with her anxiety and depression, which included an alcohol detox. The sportsman proudly stated that his wife is now a completely different person following her treatment. He said, "Now, she's a completely different person. I couldn't be more proud of her for everything she's been able to do," which then gave me the go-ahead to discuss these things publicly, and the responses I've gotten through people on social media have been absolutely amazing. When I started talking about it, I felt like I had the world on my shoulders, but as soon as I started talking about it publicly, it all came off." Since Mill's condition has improved, Neil went on to be ranked number 2 in the world before the tour was postponed due to the coronavirus. Now, Neil has made it all the way to the final of the Masters in London, where he is currently fighting Barry Hawkins for the top spot. The Best of 19 final concludes at 7 p.m. and can be viewed on BBC iPlayer. The winner stands to gain a trophy, as well as £250,000 in prize money. All quotes are taken from the Snooker Vocast, which is produced by Eurosport.